don't have to know exactly why it works, but just get a general idea of what works.
Hey, it's Walter here, and you're at the Think Profit podcast, where we're going to help you develop a rock solid trading confidence and avoid the potentially endless cycle of system switching. Right, Hugh?
That's right. We're going to help you develop a wealth mindset, develop a trading strategy that fits your core personality, and help you overcome the obstacles that stop over 90% of traders.
All right, Hugh, sounds good. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's do this.
Hey, Hugh, so I got a question here from a trader, and this trader is talking about, I'm not sure, actually, I think it's a woman, says, I have no experience and I don't know where to start with trading. She knows that she wants to get into trading, but she doesn't know what she doesn't know. So what I would say to this person, I would say, first of all, congratulations, because you have self-awareness that a lot of other people don't. They just assume things like, oh, you just got to win more often than you lose and you'll be fine. Or, oh, you just got to find a good trading system online or buy one or find a book or whatever and you're set. You know, really what it comes down to is figuring out what makes sense to you as a trader and then getting experience in that. And there's a couple ways to do it. The expensive way is to open up a trading account and trade it. The cheapest way is to demo trade, like, a demo account, like a paper trading account, or have a notebook and have like fake trades that you keep track of. And, the problem with demo accounts, a lot of them expire. So after a month or two, you have to get a new one, and that kind of messes up your equity curve and all that. But that's one way to do it. Another one is to get like Naked Dash Markets, which we'll put in the show notes if you want to check that out, or Forex Tester. And those are like trading simulators, and they allow you to go back and trade historical charts as if they're unfolding today. And those are three basic ways. You can demo trade, where you're trading live markets as they unfold, but you're actually not risking money. So they call that paper trading in the stock market world. Or you can use a simulator, which is going to cost you a bit of money, but I think it's well spent, and get some experience trading your strategies there, or your ideas or other people's ideas. And finally, you can just do it and just bite the bullet and go in live. So now the question you should ask yourself is, I think a logical one is, which one is best? Which path is best for me? If you have absolutely no money to invest in a simulator, then maybe you have to do the paper trading / demo trading thing. If you have a little bit of money, then maybe you do the demo or the trading simulator. And then what that means is you can get a lot of experience in your trading systems in a short amount of time. So you might trade 10 years worth of the Aussie USD or the S&P 500 with your trading system. You might do 10 years in 3 days, and you have all that data. Then the question becomes, what do you do with that data and all that? That's a totally different discussion. We're not going to talk about that right now. But the important point is that when you recognize you have no experience, you can actually get trading experience. And those are the three ways that you can do it. You could certainly allow yourself to trade without so-called experience, but usually that's the most expensive tuition you can pay. In other words, you might look at a system, it makes sense to you, you understand how it works, the mechanics, and you go hog wild, you go in and you start trading that. But usually those are expensive lessons. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can go and read any trader interview, and they'll tell you all about how that will go. It's pretty common, and I know as well as Hugh knows, everyone knows, like, this is how it works, right? So having said that, those are my thoughts. What are you thinking about that in terms of, you're inexperienced, you're inexperienced. So what do you do, Hugh? What's the deal?
Yeah, I mean, those are all really good points. I think I would maybe step back a little bit more. And it seems like some people, they don't want to look at the mechanics. They think that it's just like you follow these 5 steps and then you make money. But if you want to figure out how something works, then, okay, so first I would say, like, what's your goal? Your goal is to make money while putting these trades in, right? So the first thing that you should do is figure out how to put these trades in, and then take a look at, okay, what happens when I put this trade in, and then I lose money here, I make money here, I have to pay some interest every day, or maybe not, maybe you get paid some interest, and that'll help you figure out like the basic mechanics of how trading works. Okay, so once you figure that out, okay, now what can I do? Then you need a strategy, like you said, right? So where do I get a strategy from? Okay, Google around, and like you said, take a look at some strategies. And then, you don't have to know exactly why it works, but just get a general idea of what works. Like if you're just going to do support and resistance, why does support and resistance work? Because there are orders and there are areas in the chart where the players consider that price cheap or expensive, and then that changes over time. So if you just break it down to just the basic mechanics of trading, basic mechanics of how the markets move, I think you'll get a lot further than just trying to say, oh, I'm going to make money by following these 5 steps of this trading strategy I got off of YouTube or whatever it is, right? So that's what I would recommend. I think a lot of people try to jump ahead and say, oh, I want to make this percent a month or whatever. But if you don't know the basic mechanics of how to make that X percent a month, then you're just going to go run off and look for some trading strategies that may or may not work for you. So that's what I would say. Just figure out the basic mechanics. And that goes for learning anything, right? Like riding a bike or, playing basketball or whatever it is. You have to learn some basic mechanics first and then jump into the full-blown activity.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you say, it's, if you think about it, like some people will start a business and their focus is on the product. So they think, look, if we just make the best product that's available across the market, people will eventually find us and they'll love us and they'll buy from us, right? Or service, product or service, right? Then there are other people who say, look, we need to cut costs. We need to get the cheapest product we can, right? So that, we have a big fat profit margin and we don't have to sell that many to make, a profit. And there are still others that say, look, we need to make a pretty good product. We'll get it as cheap as we can within reason. And we're going to sink all of our money into marketing and to getting the word out about this product, and then there's another one. Oh, look, all we really need is a celebrity endorsement. We get a celebrity endorsement, we're set, right? I mean, it's the same thing with trading. It's exactly the same thing with trading. Like there's all these different approaches. And so some people, they look at a chart that's just roaring and going higher and higher. And they think, actually, most people, I know because I've asked, they look at it and they go, holy cow, that's got to reverse. That's got to turn around soon. Most people actually think that way, I found. And then some people look at that and they go, whew, that is a beautiful trend. Let me jump on that, right? And so that's what you got to figure out when you're looking for a system, is you got to figure out, who are you? What do you believe in? What sort of approach makes sense to you? So yeah, and that's something I think people miss, because what you're saying is true. Like people just think, oh, I need to make 5% a month, so I'm going to look for a strategy that will give me that. That's not going to work, unfortunately. Unfortunately, you're going to hit a bumpy road at some stage, and you'll give up. And the reason you give up is because it doesn't make sense to you. So,
yeah. And you got to remember that you're making 5% a month on average, not every single month. I mean, for a lot of strategies. So I think that's one thing that people overlook. You're gonna make a lot of money, or you make more money some months, and some months you'll lose. So you can't just go on that criteria.
That's exactly right. Yep.
All right. Thanks, Walter.
Thank you.
All information in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and is not trading or investment advice.